Jeff Bezos. He's one of the most brilliant entrepreneurs of our time. And after reading this book and listening to so many interviews and recent podcasts he did with Lex Friedman, I learned so many lessons that I wanted to share with you guys, which I will take with me into the future. And that first lesson that I learned is the importance of wandering, right? Giving yourself permission to wander. So many of us are rigid. We have this rigidity in our lives where we have our career path set out, right? Everyone thinks that they know exactly what they want to do right when they get into college. Oh, I'm going to work my way up the ladder in this job or that job. And they're so, on this one path that they don't allow themselves to learn other things, right? I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of us make. We stop learning at a certain point. And all of the great minds that I've learned about are voracious learners, not just in their field, right? They're great at what they do, but they also know a variety of fields, right? They have a ton of knowledge about a bunch of different things, right? And things that you don't think are important right now will play a role later in life, right? Just like how I was just reading about Einstein, and I'm reading about physics and about all of these things that he discovered. And, you might not think that that's valuable if you want to learn about business, but I think it is, right? Because what did Elon Musk study in college? Physics, right? And all the other great entrepreneurs studied Einstein. So I'm not going to be ignorant enough to think that I know everything and I should just study only business and read business books, right? It's nonsense. So giving yourself that permission to wander is so crucial, Bezos says. And I've done that in my life. I mean, even before I learned about, that concept from him, about wandering, I was doing that. And I've been wandering for a while, learning about so many different things. Guys, I've learned about every industry, every subject in the past couple of years, and I've done it all on my own. I wouldn't have learned any of it in school, right? I got my personal trainer certificate, my nutrition certificate. I got my insurance license, right? I've studied a variety of topics, anything from, business to psychology, philosophy, DNA and gene sequencing, physics. There's so many different things that I've learned. A lot of history as well, reading a ton of biographies. And I've just I've given myself permission to wander, to just be obsessed with learning, to be curious. Right? And I feel so much more empowered every single day, right? With this curiosity leading me from one place to the other. And, I think putting yourself on this rigid path is a big hindrance to your life. And it'll rob you of so many of the things that you could learn about this world that are important. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about from Bezos is the day one mentality. Those of you who know Bezos definitely know about day one mentality. I remember there was a quote that Bezos said, which is, day two is followed by stasis, complacency, something else, right? And what he meant by that is day two is the death of the company, right? Every day has to be day one. You have to constantly be innovating, thinking like a startup. Even though Amazon is a billion dollar company, $trillion company, I think at this point. They are constantly innovating. They're acting like a startup. And Bezos emphasizes that so much, right? Because he knows how, these corporate big companies, they just die. They die from within, right? They have no spirit, no entrepreneurial spirit left over. Everything is about maximizing profits, and it becomes less and less about product and providing value for the customer, and it just becomes about making as much money as possible for their shareholders and for themselves, right? And Bezos wholeheartedly disagrees with that, right? That principle of it's day one all the time, having that mentality is what allows Amazon to constantly innovate and invent new things, right? Amazon has invented so many things since they've came out, right? The Kindle, Alexa, the Fire phone, which wasn't that great, right? That was a failure. But Bezos even talks about in the book the lessons he learned from that phone, trying to, create that and thinking that it was going to be the next big hit on Amazon, and it totally flopped, right? And now there's no Fire phone, right? So that idea died. But he says that one great idea, one excellent idea will pay for all the terrible ideas that fizzle out, that don't end up working out. And not only will it pay for it, but it will pay for it twofold, threefold. So I think that that's so important, constantly thinking like it's day one. And that creates so much excitement. And it's not just, for me, day one is not just about, a big business like Bezos refers to it. For me, day one is constantly being excited, right, to learn something new. Every day is day one, right? Every day is a new day to learn something new, to grow, to evolve as a human being. And I'm excited every day to wake up, right? Today I was excited to wake up and read more about Einstein. I'm excited to reread these Bezos letters and dive more into them, right? Because there was just so much valuable knowledge in here. And, it's just something that you have to be obsessed with. You have to be obsessed with constantly growing, constantly learning, treating it like day one. So that's another lesson that I learned from Bezos, and which I think is something that I will have with me for the rest of my life. And as I grow a business, as I start growing and expanding and build something great, I'm going to constantly keep these things in mind that Bezos says, right? To keep that day one mentality. And that, I think, is what we need. We need to learn about these guys so that we have a little version of them living in our heads, right? I have a little Bezos in my head. I have a little Steve Jobs in my head. I have a little Elon in my head. I have a little Ben Franklin in my head. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, right? All of these great men who have accomplished such massive things in this world. I have a little Einstein in my head. Guys, that's why biographies are so important. We get to live their lives. We get to see how they got from where they were to where they ended up, and then apply that to our own lives, and then forge our own path. But more than anything, guys, just give yourself permission to learn and to wander and not feel so set on your course in life. Because all the great people, just like Bezos, he went to school, went to college, and then got a corporate job. But ultimately, he felt that there was an opportunity, and he seized the opportunity. He saw how fast the internet was growing, and he jumped on it. Timing is everything. And if Bezos had listened to his boss, who said, Jeff, that's great and all, your idea is great and all, but that's for someone who doesn't already have a great job. And Bezos decided not to listen to him. Put in his letter of resignation, left, started Amazon. What if he didn't do that? What if he didn't do that? There wouldn't be an Amazon today. So allow yourself to wander and treat every day like it's day one, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. My name is Bezos. Before I sign off, join the Discipline Institute, first link in the description. A community of young men leveling up, getting better. We're learning, growing, getting better in every aspect of life, right? Health, wealth, relationships, other things as well. And I really want this to grow into something big, and I want it to start being more intensive. I want to start getting on calls with you guys and really turn this into something great. The Discipline Institute. I've had this vision for a while. I started it a while ago, and I've just been trying my best to provide value to you guys any way I can. Let me know what else you'd like to see from me. And I'm really grateful for you all. Again, Blaze the Cyan, signing off. Talk to you soon. Bye.